So here we are at the No Dakota Access Pipeline protest at Wells Fargo. Halfway decent crowd gathering.
We're going to go both sides. We're going to speak from here to everybody. So alongside the building on both sides, please. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the plan.
Yeah. Come on back. Come on close. Make sure there's room for people to walk by. Come on close.
Big hand for everybody! Big hand!
We stand! We're standing rock! We are!
We are!
Milwaukee!
Milwaukee!
Thank you!
Woo! Thank you!
When we start, first of all, let's thank Amy for getting us together here. And I want to mention that there's a new coalition that's formed that we're all working together. And it's to help promote everything else that's happening. And we're starting a Facebook page and asking people to get it to us. People are working, I don't see them here, but we want to make that word so we can support every fundraiser that's happening, every event that's happening. We've got a long run coming up in Standing Rock. Words, Amy?
No, you're doing great.
All right. I'd like to introduce Julie Enslow from 350.org.
Hello, can you hear me with this?
Yeah.
Okay. So, people should know that this pipeline, the North Dakota Access Pipeline, was originally scheduled to go through white people's territory.
Right, yeah, right.
And that was changed, and it's going through Indian territory, because that's okay with the government.
No.
That's okay with the pipeline people, but it's not okay with us, and it's not okay with the indigenous peoples throughout this continent who have gathered, even from South America and Central America, Canada, and the United States, over 200 tribes gathering to say no to federal. This is a phenomenon we've never seen. There's never been this big a gathering before of Native people. And so this is an amazing thing we are witnessing. And we can be part of it by supporting them, by going there if we can, by raising money to help, by sending supplies that they need, by educating about the issues. We can be a part of this too. So it's very important that you're here today. Thank you so much. These banks need to stop supplying the money for this. It's not just Wells Fargo. There's a number of banks. Citibank, U.S. Bank, a number of them. This is one we have to focus on today. So tonight at 5:30, between 5:30 and 6:30, there'll be another vigil down by our water that we want to protect, Lake Michigan. And it'll be right on the corner near Colectivo on Lincoln Memorial Drive. Okay, it's 5:30, between 5:30 and 6:30, and it'll be a stand for Standing Rock. So join us again there. 350.org is organizing that one, along with everyone who wants to be part of this. So it's important we all work together.
Could you give the location again?
Yes, it's down on Lincoln Memorial Drive near Colectivo, at that corner. Lafayette Hill Drive and Lincoln Memorial. 5:30.
Hey everyone, I just want to point out I did speak with the building owner just before we gathered here today. He asked that we don't enter the building. I'm assuming no one wants to get arrested. As long as we are out here and we're peaceful, they'll leave us alone. So we should take this opportunity to educate everyone who's passing by. We should talk to one another. We should learn. Take it home with us. Talk to people at the dinner table. Talk to our friends. Just make sure that people know what's going on. This isn't happening here, but it could happen here. You know, and And why are we at Wells Fargo Bank? There was a call out. Sorry. There was a call out by the Canyon Rock Sioux Reservation to gather in different places across the nation. They did say to meet at the Army Corps of Engineers. We don't have one locally. So I chose Wells Fargo Bank, who is the second largest funder of this pipeline. It's a $3.7 million project. Every day that they're not working on it, they're losing money. And Wells Fargo in particular has no problem taking our money, so I have no problem taking theirs. So thank you all for being here, and I'll pass it over to George.
Mike, check! Keep it in the ground!
Keep it in the ground!
Keep the oil under the soil!
Keep the oil under the soil!
Keep the gas under the grass!
Keep the gas under the grass!
Keep the coal in the hole!
Keep the coal in the hole!
System change!
System change!
Not climate change!
Not climate change!
Renewable energy!
Renewable energy!
Sustainable life!
Sustainable life!
Peace and love!
Peace and love!
We are!
We are!
Milwaukee!
Milwaukee!
We are!
We are!
Milwaukee!
Milwaukee!
We stand!
We stand!
We're standing rock!
We're standing rock!
Hello, family. Can you hear me over there? Can you hear me over here?
Yeah!
I'm with the Global Climate Convergence. And I'll tell you, as we talk about things as this administration changes and what we've got to do, we've all heard to work locally and think globally. And that's what the movements are doing. Because it's the water protectors in South America. It's the forests in Africa. It's all tied in together. And it's indigenous people who are leading this earth, you know, in this struggle. And that's where it was in New York 2 years ago, when 400,000 of us marched in 42 countries around the world. And we're going to do it again.
Yeah!
We're going to do it again come this April. We're converging on Washington, April 29th.
Yeah!
Save the date. We're going to organize buses. And we're going to go and join with the rest of America and the rest of the earth to change this thing around.
Right.
Yeah!
We've got to stop the pipeline.
Yeah!
And you know what this is about? This is about the people who were here before we came. I got an email from my sister, Judith LeBlanc, who is the National Director of the Native Organizers Alliance. And they are gathering, and she's saying, no matter how we feel or how we're stunned, hell, I'm Native American. We've been through worse.
Right.
And they're calling the tribes together to organize through this long winter. And those tribes include tribes from South America, from Alaska. And how we support them is so important. So anytime you see anything, the little fundraiser, great fundraiser at the Jazz Gallery, National Cafe's got one coming up on the 19th. We're going to spread the word, but support it all, because we have to.
Right!
We have to. Because life as we know it may not be the same because of climate change. And again, this focus has to be on supporting our brothers and sisters who were here before us.
Right.
I'd like to introduce, is the Chris, what's your name again? Clifford from the UWM Native Students Association. Had a great rally last week. Clifford.
It's Clifton, but I don't need it.
All right.
Thank everybody first of all for coming. Coming last week, coming this week, it's coming. Us, Native students of UWM, we're in full support for protectors of water worldwide. Anybody that's indigenous, anybody that's getting their rights infringed upon, anybody that's a victim of institutions like this, we support, we love them, and we just like to support the same support back. I'm sorry for stuttering, but I wasn't ready for this. But once again, thank you for coming, and we are vehemently against the Dakota Access Pipeline. We are against it. We're against all pipelines, any water infringements from Wisconsin, any type of pollution of the world, anything. Like the brother said, social change, not climate change. Change who we are and what we're doing, and let's stand with it.
So how many of you?
So they can walk through.
How many of you know that there's a pipeline that cuts right through the state of Wisconsin from Superior all the way down to Delavan at an angle? And it goes from Delavan, it splits in two, it goes down into Illinois, and it goes to refineries there in Indiana. But this is existing now, it's been there for about 8 years. They want to double that pipeline. We've already upped the amount of oil that's being pushed through it, crude oil, from North Dakota, and they want to double it by building another parallel pipeline right next to it. They already have the access rights, and it's online. It's going to be happening right here in our own state. There's people organizing around the state to stop this expansion of that pipeline. And so, if we stop DAPL, we stop the Dakota Access Pipeline, we will be. And if we stand with the Native peoples there, they will come and stand with us in Wisconsin to stop the pipeline that will cut right through our state. So this is not a one pipeline deal. This is happening all over the country.
It's a Mackinac.
Iowa. Right, and another one across the strait, underneath the Straits of Mackinac. There is a pipeline that is already cracked and deteriorating, and it is bound to burst at any time and affect the Great Lakes. So we have our work cut out for us. So we stand with one another. We will have a lot of support from the people that we stand with. So keep this in mind because the struggle is coming to Wisconsin.
Thank you.
And in honor of our First Nation, are there any Native Americans who want to speak? Much respect. Anyone?
There is one woman that was talking.
Yeah. Is she coming? Yeah. Any Native American would like to speak?
I'll speak.
Come forward.
You don't have to. Yeah, just put your mouth right up on it.
I'm an indigenous from the Turtle Mountains in North Dakota. I stand with Standing Rock. Water is life. Power to the people. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
This has been a struggle since April. We're setting up for winter. We need a lot of help. We need a lot of donations. We need firewood. We need sleeping blankets, scarves, hats, anything you can donate to help this cause. God bless you. I love you. Water is life.
Water is life.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here with an organization who are collecting things right now? Anyone with an organization who are collecting things? We want to promote each other. We are Milwaukee. I want to say something, and if you are, come on up. But being here at this bank, being here at this bank.
Hey, Mini Wachoni! Water is life! Stop this DAPL! We have the technology to take care of this and have for many, many years. Let's stop this beast from crawling down the reservations. Let's help the people. Be good to one another. Love each other. Care for one another.
Right?
This is what we're here for. We're not here to go against no enemies. The enemies are greed.
Yes.
Yes. Stop greed. And it's up to us. I've done this several times for several other causes. Take this home to your families. Love each other. Care for your families.
What's your name?
Yeah, what's your name?
I am Mato Yate. I am Lakota. Mini Wachoni.
Mini Wachoni.
Mini Wachoni.
Mini Wachoni.
Mini Wachoni.
Mini Wachoni.
Water is life.
Water is life.
Water is life.
Water is life.
here.
Thank you, brother. You know, and this is reality and success of history. As we stand up for democracy and nonviolence, we have tools. And I tell you what changed South Africa was student movements and people's movements, and also a movement of divestment. That's happening around Israel with its occupation of Palestine. That's being set in place around this issue. We're not threatening that today, but people need to understand, just as Wall Street and Occupy Wall Street, many of our organizations took our money out of those big corporate banks and put them in credit unions and collectives. Just as we have elected representatives who don't represent us, we need to get rid of them. When we have financial institutions that don't represent us, that's down the line. So we understand that in following my brother here, in terms of this is not about a threat or about anger, it's not. But those are some things that we have to consider down this line, because we have to change this. We stand! We stand! We're Standing Rock! We're Standing Rock! Anyone? Water is life! Water is life! Come on, everybody!
My name is I'm not a native person, but I actually work with some of the people who are in Cannonball right now, getting maced and getting thrown in dog cages and having their constitutional rights systematically denied. That's right. So this is about greed, but this is also about human rights. This is about civil rights, your right to assembly.
Right.
Oh my God, look at this guy right here. Why do I just So I just introduced this guy the other night. And if you don't know who he is, if you don't know who he is, you might have seen his face on a lot of gear on the school about 15 blocks that way. He used to dance on a basketball court with real regalia made from an elder lady. So when we talk about different kinds of racism, we talk about different kinds of greed, we talk about things that we're all tied up in, and then we got to get rid of it. So make your art. Send things to Standing Rock. Petition your clergy, because 500 of them just went to Cannonball to stand in solidarity.
For people to walk.
Now I'd like to introduce this man right here.
Make an aisle, make an aisle.
Wait bonjour, and no market and do. God way Benezi indigenous cause, Neme and no dem. On your Tianga, on Menominee, on the Schnabe, and now, Neopit, and Don Jabbar. That language used to be said from one end of this river to the other, and all the way to the lakefront. So look all around you and see the number of people that are here in the building you're in front of. You all know this business has invested in a pipeline that began the risky business of doing construction before all permits were allowed. Before all permits, they took a risk. And now we're going to make them pay for it. And that means it's risky business when you start attacking our earth, our mother. For those of you that don't understand it this way. Imagine if your mom was laying there and she was sick and she was ill. And then someone says, let me take this heroin. Let me take this needle full of heroin and put that under her veins. Let me put that pipeline of oil. Let me put that pipeline of heroin that makes really bad stuff run. Let me put that under her veins, and guess what? I'm going to let that lay there for as long as I want. Not as long as you want, not as long as their sons and daughters want, not as long as she wants, but as long as that heroin can run. And that is what's happening with this pipeline. Underneath the Missouri River is going to be this heroin that makes so much of this harshness that our children are feeling. A lot of you have kids that are going through it right now. They're going to schools, they're getting called names, they're being called out by racism that has existed in this country for hundreds of years. Built on our land, built on the backs of slavery and white slave labor. Just because they called it indentured servitude didn't mean that people lost their lives and didn't mean they were enslaved. Your ancestors, all of our ancestors are involved in this. I've had relatives that are out there and relatives that are out there today. We only can do so much, and this is what we're doing right now. Outside in this bank over here, outside of this bank right now, we're making our noise that goes out and up into creation. It has to happen. Raise your voices now. Let them know it. Yo! This is why we're here. When you raise your voices in a just cause, when you raise your voices, trees will bend, clouds will come lower. People will look out of their windows and pay attention to you. This bank took advantage of your grandmothers and grandmothers by making and opening accounts for them. That is the nature of their business. Tell them no more. Tell them no more of polluting this world. No more of working for the kind of place they do. Our world deserves better. Our children deserve better. The last piece that I'd like to say is each and every one of you are living in the time of the 7th generation. We have talked about this. Those of you that are going to have grandchildren and children, you're coming into the time of the 8th fire. And for Native people, I want you to listen closely. I am from Medewan, the way of the heart. We've been teaching our children language, culture, how to behave, what to stand up for, and why. Because our brothers and sisters in this world are now approaching the prophecy of the 8th fire. And that prophecy is that the world will be coming to indigenous culture for answers to questions they have. A part of those questions that they have is happening right now. A part of the answers that you're seeing is happening right now. Water is life. Water is not relative. It must be. It has to be. Without it, our grandchildren and children will have no future. Those of you that doubted Milwaukee, remember only years ago when the poison went through our own waters, county hospital, young babies and children are made sick. And what did the health department tell you? Drink more water. Drink more water. Make them healthy. Wash what they have through the systems. And what happened? People died. The city settled settlements. Why? Because they had poison flowing through the faucets of this city. The disease was called cryptosporidium. We need to say this. We need to own this. It just didn't happen in Flint, Michigan. It happened in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Never again.
Anyone Water is life! Water is life! Anyone Water is life! Water is life!
Thank you, our brothers. Listen up. Join us between 5:30 and 6:30 again today, down on Lincoln Memorial Drive at the Hill, at Lafayette Hill. We're going to do 1 hour. We're going to catch rush hour traffic. We have some strategies planned. It's about education. It's about education at this point. I think from this point on, just remember, we're developing a Facebook page called Milwaukee Standing Rock Support Coalition. On that, we want to list everything that's happening in Greater Milwaukee, so we know where to come out and support it. If we can, I want to thank the organizers of this, Amy, Sora. We like to, again, pick it around the bank. Let's do both sides. Stretch it out for about 10-15 minutes. Make sure there is room for people to walk by. Thank you. We are Milwaukee. We stand. We're Standing Rock. We are Milwaukee. We stand. We're Standing Rock. Peace and love.
Right on, sister.
Yeah, one quick shout out. 350.org is here. The Sierra Club is here. There's Sierra Club. We're all in this together nationally.
Standing Rock. Go to Standing Rock in his life. Standing Rock. Standing Rock. Standing Rock. Water is life. Water is life. Water is life. Gas under the ground. Water is life.
The reality is energy is real and more seasonal every day. The country is Norway has windows on the sea. 104 different and sell the rest in Europe. At times Germany is up to 90%. Come on, turn in this energy job. I'm going away. Better pay, better benefit. We have to change. It's a matter of priority. It's a matter of priority. And the priority is wanting to have life as we know it today for our children and our grandchildren. As it continues, it affects the food we grow, the water we drink, the air we breathe. We've got to change this now.
Do you think this change can be, and of course we're sitting in front of a bank, George, profitable for those like Wells Fargo who would put money into these alternatives?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's 3 times the return for investment in alternative energy than it is in fossil fuel industry. Those are realities. You know, and so as we deal with this and we get denial from some forms of government, forms of industry, the Pentagon and the Defense Department has admitted and planned around climate change for the last 15 years. So these are realities in life. And we as a people need to change our footprint. And it's not going to happen overnight, but we got to start doing it, or we won't have a chance.
Amen. You got it.
You're welcome.
God bless you.
Excuse me.
Just have like a negative. Or maybe that's the key. Could work either way. Yeah.
Obama, Trump, they're all well invested in all this. This will not stop.
This will raise again some more interest and not get me fired.
Very nice. Excuse me. That's cool.
Renewable energy. Sustainable life. Peace and love. We are Milwaukee. We stand. Standing rock.
Well, there you go.